Jin, you possess a god-level alchemy talent. If you don't refine elixirs, who will? Diligently studying for 2 hours. Lan, you have a strong spirit of research. Things that are not understood can be gradually comprehended. I have one more thing to say. Before you die, you can linger for a very long time. A long, long time ago. Must receive a reward. Alchemy, skills, and techniques. Seeing oneself dead, may I ask if you have taken a breath instead? Finally dead. Fell into such a deep grave, not eating or drinking for years. If it weren't for the blood cow talent, already dead. In this way, forcibly entering the tomb is not allowed. Because of leaving the tomb, we must also be tested through our suggestions. As for flying straight up, break the earth's crust, it's not that easy. Can I lean on the corrosive blood? How many years have you melted, only to have sunk so deep into the ground? The crust has long since recovered. Flying upwards means to break open the crust again, even if I can continue to draw blood and return it. The spiritual energy is running low. There is no spiritual energy underground at all. What talent should I choose this time? There is no doubt. As long as the golden talent emerges. It's a must-have option. After the talent selection, just simulated myself, from Elder Jiu of the Liang sect, all the skills related to alchemy that I have learned, and the techniques of alchemy, skills, etc. All have been inherited together. At this moment, Qin Wen already possesses god-level alchemy talent. These alchemical techniques, he saw through it in an instant. Numerous inappropriate aspects start right in the mind. Thinking about how to improve. Alchemist, Kai Refinement Master, Gen Fashi, Fu Lu Master, wait a moment. Careers similar to that of a cultivator. Among the cultivators, but it is highly respected. Who can cultivate without the elixir? Fan Kai, Gen Fa, Fu Lu these things, especially the alchemists. A minted chicken dan is enough to make countless Kai-refining mere cultivators. Crazy about you, possessing the talent of Danshans. Qin asked about future accomplishments in alchemy, leaps and bounds. It is very likely that the past will continue into the future. A high-level alchemist. The status among cultivators goes without saying. Wherever I go, I have to be called Dad. Turn back and simulate once more. I only know about Dandai's talent. How much of a role can it play? At this moment, Natasha has also brought back the harvest. I saw Qin Wen frowning in deep thought, drawing on the ground with a stick in hand, until he was deep in thought, did not disturb. After obtaining the dandy talent, Qin Wen discovered a strong interest in alchemy. There is no alchemy furnace at hand. Unable to refine elixirs, Qin Wen was just in his mind. Simulate various possible combinations of medicinal herbs, and researching new refining techniques. For dandy's talent, conceived in the mind. Basically, it's about right. All are correct. Blue star, after confirming that there are indeed no private images visible. Countless viewers shouted that the heavens are despicable. I can't watch alone, so I won't let everyone watch together. Jen Zioxian has pulled several all-nighters working overtime. This is also quite disappointing. Everyone can only see Qin Wen and Natasha, training on the island every day. The scene of survival. Just when it matters, the screen goes black. It makes people anxious. Huaxia Tiandao Cultivation Office. Staff in the observation room. After repeatedly watching some scenes of Qin Wen, he often stares blankly into space. What is he doing? Gaze fixed on one direction. Motionless, but it's not completely still either. Sometimes there will be emotional fluctuations. How strange. Due to the simulator screen, only Qin could see it himself. Others can only see him standing there in a daze. Spent too much time daydreaming. Naturally drew attention. The first to notice. It is the highly qualified staff in the observation room. Heavenly Path Cultivation Office. Although something seemed off. But I can't figure out the reason. It's impossible to understand. Can only remember for a while. Zion world. A few days have passed in the blink of an eye. These past few days, Qin simulated 5 times. Did not gain any better talents. Didn't learn anything from the Sims. Gained too much useful information. This is obvious. As Qin Wen's fixed talent improved more and more, I want to unlock better talents. It won't be that easy. After all, the conditions are usually quite similar each time. The final result, it's more or less the same. So Qin asks now. It just lowered the frequency of the simulation to avoid wasting spirit power. It is worth mentioning that in these recent simulations of life, they all passed away peacefully in their old age. It seems this wealth, it truly is seeking danger in the midst of peril. May you have peace and safety for a lifetime. So there were no good opportunities. In the past few days, aside from my training, Qin is studying alchemy and elixirs. He used a stone on the mountain wall, simulating the time I was transformed into the Poison King. From Elder Jiu of the sheep hunting sect, the learned formula has all been written down, constantly brainstorming improvements. Obtained many more excellent elixirs. Unfortunately, there is no alchemy furnace. Otherwise, you could try refining some elixirs. It is very helpful for cultivation. Calculate the time. Qin smiled slightly. The workers are coming. Nightfall. Qin pulled Natasha. Arrived at the beach on the other side of the island. Qin asks, "What are we doing here?" Natasha's face was flushed with embarrassment, thinking that Qin Wen wanted a change of environment. Immediately, he had a half-hearted expression. Qin coughed once. Hi. Don't get the wrong idea. I just want to see the stars." Natasha thought to herself, "We're so familiar with it now. Why be so tactful?" However, since Qin wants to play subtlety today, according to him, just cooperate obediently. Qin certainly couldn't say it directly. Wait here for a sand to come ashore. In that case, not only Natasha would feel something is off, the live audience will also realize. Qin wondered if he had the ability to foresee events. Chan Dao has mentioned, as the realm of understanding deepens, special permissions will be granted later. For example, communicating with the original world. So, Qin cannot expose his biggest trump card. This is the immortal cultivation simulator. Qin had Natasha. Jen sat on the beach and started watching the stars. After a moment, a small boat was seen drifting on the sea. Under the bright moonlight, Natasha recognized the newcomer. It was suddenly the same place he had been on his own island. To harm his representative from the kingdom of white elephants. Is him. Shh. Do not disturb him. Wait for him to come ashore. Qin took Natasha, hiding behind a large rock on the shore, the dark-skinned San, sneaking ashore. Pull the small boat onto the beach. Tie the rope to a stone. Suddenly, a fireball flew in from the distance. Bang! The wooden boat is gone. Only a field of red-hot nails remains. This is the fireball talisman that Qin Wen found on the island. San turned to look in the direction of the sound. Only an Eastern man was seen, carrying a long sword. A sinister smile approached. "Don't come over here. San speaks English. However, Qin Wen has a college English level 4 proficiency. It's actually quite easy to understand. Speak Chinese. I know you will. Asan spoke in another dialect of Chinese. Don't come over here. I am a crispy two-layer. Speaking, Asan picked up a stone. A powerful punch. The stone cracked. Qin let out a cold laugh. Don't waste time talking to him. Step onto the sword. First, he flicked his sword to knock off a bamboo basket hanging from the man's waist. There are poisonous snakes and scorpions inside. It is his specialty. During the simulation, suffered a great loss. Right after that, another sword strike. Cutting Asan's thigh. Cannot heavily injure him. Still need to keep him working. Qin Wen's actions. It was so fast that Asan couldn't see clearly. Add the wind-chasing sword technique. Originally quick and agile. These two swords directly pressured Asan. Yalming Nalmen. Asan knelt down, calling out with a chirping sound. Qin thought for a moment. I just realized he said to spare my life. Don't worry. I won't kill you. Unless you promise me. Help me with work. Xiaoming cooperated with the labor. Asan did not hesitate to choose the latter. You can ask me to do anything. Qin let out a cold laugh. First, lie down on the ground. Lie down properly. Asan is fierce. Do I have to sell my own flesh and blood? But he could only obediently comply, because he knows Qin Wenjing's realm is higher than his. Also understands swordsmanship. I am completely no match for you. Please be gentle. Qin chuckles softly. Asan felt a chill run down his back. Don't worry. He will be very gentle. Hey. Asan is confused. Qin nodded to indicate. Natasha can come out now. Natasha walked out from behind the rocks, facing the honest and obedient Asan lying on the ground. It hurts a lot. You want to take advantage of me. You want to take advantage of me. Almost killed me. Almost got me killed. You this piece of trash. Vite. That. Natasha cursed and stepped on it. Vent your frustrations. That was so satisfying. Qin was watching from the side, a bit surprised. This usually gentle and virtuous Natasha. It turns out it was also intense during deep conversations. Angry and very explosive. After subduing Asan's storage bag, Zurin also asked Qin. Seeing Qin Wen open the storage bag, Asan was extremely surprised. Speak in another way in Chinese. You actually know Northeast Hai Ji Ji. Less talk. Lie down obediently. In Asan's storage bag, there are also 10 snacks. A bottle of elixir. In addition, there is also an alchemy furnace. A very small alchemy furnace. Only the size of a palm. This mini alchemy furnace. The quality is very low. The success rate of alchemy is not high. You can only refine one at a time. But for Qin Wen, using the talents of the Dan Dai, Qin inquired about many alchemical techniques he had conceived. There is also an improved formula, finally able to give it a try. In the following days, Qin would spend some time every day. Go study alchemy. His talent has finally found its place. The pills that could only be conceived in the mind before. Bing Qin was interrogated and created. On this small island. Of course, there aren't enough alchemical materials. Qin asked if they were all using common plants. Material substitutes. The result achieved. Nature has fallen 100,000 miles away. However, Qin is not seeking elixirs. It's just practicing alchemy. These past few days, Qin asked, aside from studying alchemy, such a scene will still appear on his island. The sea breeze blows gently. Night trees below zero. Qin is wearing a grass skirt, holding a vine as a whip in hand, sitting in a rattan chair. Pomade. Qin Wen is by the seaside, under the blazing sun, the representative of Bai Xiangyuo, moving the wood, cutting wood. Knock, knock, bang, bang. Hurry up. Aren't you at the second level of the pure body? Is that all the strength you have? The sun is already high in the sky. Today's progress isn't even halfway done. Hurry up, hurry up. I said, let's do it. The little snake you brought is quite fun. I play this flute. Will they bite you? The representative of Bai Xiangyuo is named Gandai. He sets sail with great ambition. I never expected that. In the end, I will become Qin Wen's slave. In the original homeland, it's just a low caste. Arrived in the immortal cultivation realm, the result still places them beneath others. Gandai is feeling gloomy, very gloomy, equally frustrating. The official and the public watching the live broadcast on Blue Star. Internationally, Bai Xiangyuo officially issued a stern protest and condemnation. On the internet, the people of Bai Xiangyuo flooded into Qin Wen's Jan Dao live stream, scrolling comments to insult. Damn it, representative of Huaxian nation. It's too barbaric. How can we enslave our representatives? We must kill the dry land. Let us release the dry land. Gandai Tian Tian helps Qin Wen take a boat. There is simply no time to cultivate. He continues to drag it out like this. The progress of our Bai Xiangyuo. We will fall behind all countries. Damn Qin Wen. Damn Huaxia people. Isn't Huaxia known as a nation of etiquette? Is it really like this? Hey, hypocritical Huaxia people. Bai Xiangyuo mentioned this matter in an international setting. After all, the Huaxia kingdom must respond officially. These are all personal actions of Qin Wen. Please do not escalate it to a national level. We are still unable to contact Qin Wen, unable to help. Such a response is similar to not long ago, when Gandai attempted to harm Natasha. Bai Xiangyuo's response to the protests from Ermao country. Like two peas in a pod. Bai Xiangyuo stood speechless, his back turned. After all, they are so double-standard. It's fine for representatives of one's own country to deal with others. I was messed up by someone else. And so the protests began, facing the voices of the people online regarding the Minister of State, Bai Zhang. The people of Huaxia created countless outrageous videos in response. Clearly didn't take their shouting seriously. In the official live stream of Huaxia, the host and guests are also discussing other topics. Treat the bullet comments from Bai Xiangyuo as if they were air. Jen Xiaoxian pointed at the dry land where the foundation framework of the large ship was being built. Qin seemed to be directing the construction of a large ship. Some of the previous guesses from netizens were correct. Qin asked if the small boat from the idol Tian Dao was too small. Going out to sea isn't safe enough. However, with just the materials found on the island, can you make a big ship? I thought I could only paddle a canoe like this. There are many experts from various fields in the live broadcast room. Today, there happens to be a manufacturing expert in shipbuilding. He mentioned our ancient traditional crafts of Huaxia. It can indeed be made with pure wood. Building large ships, with a draft of dozens to hundreds of meters. However, such craftsmanship has been lost from the ancient great ships. For example, like what Zheng He did in the Western Oceans. Only the ruins remain. Currently, the last remaining traditional craftsmanship can only reach a maximum length of over 10 meters. I see the boat that Qin Wen wants to make. It should be more than 10 meters. But it's not a big deal. The guest laughed joyfully. Could it be that Qin Wen is exactly from a family of shipbuilders? Gu Dong said with some surprise. He just got lucky, just right to understand various survival skills. Now I just happen to know how to build boats. Well, Heaven's Way has chosen the representative for our country. He's simply a perfect superhero. Nobody knows. Qin Wen's shipbuilding technology is derived from simulated rewards. So, he can indeed build super large ships using pure wood. However, there's no need for something too big. That requires a lot of people to operate. Qin asked what to do. It's just a medium-sized vessel, only 20 meters long. What's more, there are still some nails. You can reinforce the key areas. The live stream of Tian Dao is still ongoing. The audience sees Qin Wen chatting with Natasha. Qin asked, "Only let Gandhi work alone. Isn't it too slow? Do you want to go help him?" But I can't possibly help the slaves as the island owner. I am saying, you are so amazing. You can go catch a few more people nearby. Let's take a boat together. Isn't it more efficient? The people of Ermal country witnessed this scene. Directly called their representative, brought back by Qin Wen. I can't believe they came up with the idea of using such claw-like nails. Extremely inhumane. Qin Wen's crossed legs stopped swinging. I think Natasha's idea is great. This sea area, there are a total of 197 representatives from the Blue Planet. Go catch a few strong ones back to work as laborers. Hurry up and finish building the big ship. I can finish the sweep earlier myself. Seize the opportunity. Laden, a series of tasks in cultivating immortality. But there is a problem, regardless of whether it is Qin Wen. Natasha, it's still Gandhi's original small boat. It has already been dismantled by Qin Wen, removing the nails to make a big ship. So, Qin asked Gandhi to build a small boat first. It is enough for both him and Natasha to ride. Gandhi originally understood a bit about boat making, with Qin Wen, the project manager, directing. The small boat was completed in just 2 days. Qin handed the whip to Natasha. "You supervise him while he works. I will take a break." They said it was a break. Qin actually wants to simulate it one more time. The tasks at hand. This has never occurred in previous simulations. For safety's sake, Qin Wenxian simulated it. Ensure everything is foolproof. Say it again. I haven't simulated in the past few days. Busy practicing alchemy and supervising Gandhi at work. It's time to simulate a talent role. Qin silently recited in his heart. Start simulation, your 15th simulation. Starting now. The talents you currently possess. Diligent spirit. Green. Survival big count. Blue. No woman in my heart. Unique transformation physique. Blue. One Piece. Jin. Tianian tea. Chin. Blood cow. Den. Jin. Your current state is crispy realm. Simulate once. Zero energy consumption is required. Consume zero energy value 1000. Remaining 5000. Day 1. You had Gandhi build you a small boat. You bring Natasha. Boat to the nearby sea area. Prepare to recruit more strong men. The next day, you and Natasha are drifting at sea. The boat is leaking. You immediately realize it is Gandhi's hands and feet that are moving. You are strange, Pirate King's talent. Why didn't it sense anything? You might guess it's because Gandhi's methods are brilliant. When setting out to sea, the small boat is indeed fine. But once the journey begins, only then will it leak. The third day, you and Natasha are holding onto a piece of the broken ship in the sea, drifting helplessly everywhere. Day 4, Natasha is exhausted. Dizziness began to set in. Fifth day, Natasha can't hold on any more. Sunk to the seabed, you can only watch it die helplessly, because you too are a clay bodhisattva crossing the river. Day 6. You see a small island in the distance. Quickly gather strength and swim over. On the way, you encountered strong winds and rough seas. You swim tirelessly. You encountered a gigantic unknown sea creature passing by. You remain completely still, afraid of being swallowed by it in one bite. You encountered a current whirlpool. Fortunately, you have the talent of a pirate king, premonition, and find a safe direction. Circled round. The seventh day, you finally swam to the island. Exhausted you. I can't even dare to rest. Quickly adjust your state, because you heard the sounds of monsters on this island. Eighth day, you already know from the previous simulation. On an island without representatives from various countries, there are no prohibitions left by the heavenly path. On these islands, the demon beasts are also frequently active during the day. You sadly realize, on this island, there are an overwhelming number of Yaoshu. From this day forward, you have to start a battle of wits and courage with the island's monster beasts. Ninth day, cultivation, survival, defeat the demon beast. Day 10, cultivation, survival, fighting the demon beast. Day 11, 20th day, whenever you want to cut down a tree to make a wooden boat. There are always two bears that come out to cause trouble. You detest these two bear monsters deeply. The 30th day, you have given up the idea of taking the boat. You estimate, I will be trapped on this island for the rest of my life. Day 60, you discover the monsters on the island. Aren't they all ruthless and vicious? A group of white-browed monkeys seems quite interested in you. I often bring you fruit. You might think you are one of us. 90 days. You had a great time playing with the monkey group. The 100th day. You have adapted to life on Monster Beast Island. I figured out the territorial range of those high-level demon beasts. As long as we don't enter their territory, basically safe. Day 150. You have reached the 9th layer of the crispy body realm, but you still can't beat those two bear demons. The plan for building the boat, repeatedly falling through. The second year, you are trapped on Monster Beast Island. You often look towards the sea, looking forward to whether any ships will pass by. The third year, you stand by the shore watching the ocean. Fourth year, you stand by the shore watching the sea. Fifth year, you are almost becoming a husband enhancer. Year 6, you have become the king of the monkey group on the island. You call yourself the beautiful monkey king. The 10th year, a small boat passed by. You see from afar. It should be a representative of a certain country. You wave frantically. It seemed the other party was originally going to come ashore, but seeing a group of monkeys running towards you, wave together. He was scared. He knew these were demonic beasts, not an ordinary animal. He quickly turned around and ran away. You are infuriated by this group of monkeys. The 60th year, you have passed away peacefully. The simulation has ended. You can choose one of the following talents. 1. Beast Whisperer. You can understand the language of all animals in the world and can communicate with it. You have an innate charm that is reminiscent of animals. Wild animals generally won't attack you first. 2. The path of the dead is not the same as the path of the living. Encountering dangerous situations, the friends around you always perish before you. Sad. Swimming champion. Brain. You are very good at swimming. Once in the water, it feels just like being home. Must earn a reward. Training insights. The simulation has ended. The first thing was to erupt in anger, rushed in front of Gandhi and gave him a brutal beating. Gandhi was beaten black and blue, begging for mercy repeatedly. Yao Ming, Yao Ming, Yao Ming, may I ask about the reprimand? You press him. Shouting for Liu Xiang is useless. They all want to harm me. May I ask if you would fight Gandhi with fists and feet, without mercy? Look at that Natasha beside her, frowning repeatedly. So ruthless. Gandhi realized what he had done on the small boat. I understand. But how did you find out? Gandhi found this request very strange. When I first arrived on the island, he seemed to know in advance, waiting for oneself on the beach. Now it's also my own secret method of hollowing out the bottom of the boat. But it's something that only the family knows. Moreover, if this ship doesn't set sail, check onshore. If you're not careful, it's not obvious. I've vented enough. He let out a cold snort, kicked Gandhi aside. Let him keep working. I haven't chosen my talent yet. May I ask, between the receiver and the dead, is there a channel for the undead? I was conflicted for a moment. The former will give oneself an incredible ability. It may prove to be very useful. And the latter is to let oneself. There is an additional layer of protection for survival, having the talent of an undead channel. This is the second time it has appeared. May I ask if you have any doubts? Am I born with this talent? Then why choose this? Let's choose the receiver instead. The reward for this simulation must be obtained. It's just so frustrating. It turns out to be the insights of Sun Hu. It's really just a waste of effort. After thinking it over and over, it's still all about the Gandhi pit. Thinking of this, did you go and belittle Gandhi again? If it weren't for not wanting to do the hard labor myself, we need to keep him for work. I want to kill him right now. After all, this group means well. It's a disaster. Through this simulation, may I ask if you also know? Gandhi would buy hidden dangers for the ship. At that moment, the large ship completed by Gandhi, checked carefully several times. Fortunately, no issues were found. But checking every day like this is not a solution. May I ask for a one-time solution? One day later, may I ask about holding a pill? Handed over to Gandhi. What is this? Poison. Poison, poison, poison. You want to poison me. Gandhi was extremely angry. I have already worked myself to the bone for him. Why does he still want to kill himself? May I ask, he said with a cold smile. Don't worry. You won't die after you eat this. But if I stop giving you this pill, you will die. This move is to ask when simulating. Control techniques learned from the demon path. On this small island, I can't find the sect for refining demonic arts. Such a powerful poison herb. I can only find some common herbs, mixed into one, although not fatal, but when it strikes, a deadly pill. Of course, talking with Gandhi. It's the kind that can be fatal. Gandhi knew he was now under the eaves. I have to bow my head, but still tentatively asked, I helped you finish this ship. Will you give me the antidote? You can take a gamble. How will I feel then? You. Below, you are sinister. Misdirected praise, misdirected praise. Not as good as you. Hurry up and eat. Gandhi helplessly swallowed the poison. If he doesn't eat, then he'll be hit. The result is the same. Now Gandhi should no longer dare to act recklessly, to improve the efficiency of shipbuilding. Do we still need to make the small boat, going out to sea once, catch a few strong men to bring back? Able-bodied men cannot be captured in large numbers. Too much. What if they rebel? It's hard to control myself as well. I plan to only catch 2. 3 people sit in a boat. It should be done in less than a month. Before departure, may I ask if it was simulated again? Make sure this conscription won't go awry. This was when I took Natasha out to sea, although leaving Gandhi alone here. But there's no need to worry about him escaping. Gandhi consumed his own poison. I hope to return safely. May I ask what's on your mind? There is a complete map of the nearby sea area. All representative positions are marked above. Please head straight to the nearest 2 people. One is Tom from the vassal state. The other is Jerry from Maple Leaf Country. Blue Star. Has the Huaxia audience seen it? Did it go out to sea? They began to discuss fervently. This is after listening to Natasha's suggestion. You are going to capture representatives from other countries to board the ship, right? Is it still okay to conscript men for sea voyages? Gandhi was also asked about poison. Do not dare to run away. Is this method effective? There is already a sense of control over the entire situation. I said, we Huaxia are stable this time. In the end, one can ascend to become an immortal. It must be our Huaxia country. Meanwhile, is it true that they are conscripting men for the sea? The audience of the nation panicked. But please don't come to catch our elegant Miss Yaoya. Appa quickly hide. May I ask if you have arrived? He has reached the 5th layer of body tempering. You have just reached the 1st level of body refinement. But run quickly. May I ask if we can't take our representative to sail with him? This is not free at all. Going out to sea is like the emergence of a demon king. Primarily, representatives from various countries. The highest is only the 2nd layer of body refinement, and they couldn't open the storage bag. It's just about having some cultivation. I don't know any other skills or powers at all. May I ask, not only is the realm high, I also learned the wind-chasing sword technique. There are weapons in hand, too. At this stage, indeed, no representative can match him. Once invited to visit. Next time it will be just like Gandhi. In the official live stream room of Huaxia, Jen Zioxian and the guests are discussing the topic of alchemy. Someone once said, is it a practitioner of immortality in film and television? It's basically confirmed now, right? Bin was surprised. How did it become solid evidence? Jen Zion pointed at the replay on the screen. May I ask about the scene of alchemy? He can refine elixirs. After he arrived in the cultivation world, but no one calls him. How did he learn it? It must have originally existed in our world. Ku Yu exclaimed in amazement, although it's hard to believe. But it seems that this is the only way it makes sense. It seems that our world, cultivators really exist. Mo Du Bei is also amazed. This alchemy technique, it looks very skilled as well. It doesn't seem like something that was haphazardly put together. Dudong said, that being said, if we search carefully within the country, maybe we can find other film and television cultivators. Well, impressive. Huaxia Heavenly Dao Cultivation Office. Recently, I have shown remarkable alchemy skills. There is also a high level of attention. In reality, some old Taoist priests also understands some strange imperial techniques, including alchemy. It's not that mysterious. But the difference is, may I ask when you are refining the elixir? The Dan is suspended in the Dan furnace. This is no longer Newtonian. It can only be described as the technique of a cultivator who taught him the office from top to bottom. Everyone is eager to know now. May I ask who it really is? 3 days later, may I ask according to the map in the brain? Landed on the island where the representative of the Daishu country is located, the representative of the rodent kingdom named Tom. diving to catch fish. I saw a small boat drifting not far away. There are two people above. Immediately, he happily waved his hand. Finally, I see other people. He is almost becoming a wild man from loneliness. The citizens of the Rat Kingdom saw this scene. Everyone is panicking. They are in the Chandal live broadcast room of the Daishu Kingdom. Crazy barrage of comments. They don't care about what they represent now. Actually, I didn't watch the entire barrage. Hurry and run. These two are not good people. Why are you still waving at him? He also helped him pull the boat ashore. Still smiling happily, I seemed to see a big gray wolf. Arrived at the little sheep's house. The little lamb warmly welcomed him. This day truly has a she. Finished. We represent the Mouse Kingdom. We'll also become Qin Wen's laborer. After Qin Wen arrived on the island, Tom was getting ready to warmly welcome these two guests. But then I heard Qin Wen say, "Come to my island. Build me a big ship." Qin Wen's tone was neither warm nor cold. He didn't come to negotiate. He came to deliver the news. Tom was taken aback. Building a large ship. You mean to say, using the wood from the island, build a large ship made entirely of wood. Do you have the design drawings and production process? Tom speaks English. He is still learning Chinese. It's good to have Natasha as the translator. The two people communicated without any obstacles. Everything has it all. Now go and get to work. Stop talking nonsense. Hurry and follow me. I thought the other person would be furious. To everyone's surprise, Tom smiled and said, "All right, I am willing to join. Actually, I want to build a big ship too. But I don't understand the shipbuilding technology of solid wood. If you know about this technology, I can help you build the boat." Hearing Natasha translate this sentence, Qin Wen was dumbfounded. I can't believe there are still people willing to do hard labor voluntarily. With this kind of attitude toward yourself, he can't see that he's here to catch laborers for work. Then Qin Wen rejected it disrespectfully. I remember once during a simulation, opened Tom's storage bag. There's nothing of value inside. So, Qin Wen won't snatch his storage bag this time. After all, they willingly came to do the hard labor. Why take his things and make him unhappy? However, the scattered snacks on Tom Island. We can't waste things like zisui grass. Qin Wen took the two people and carried away these resources. Next stop, Qin Wen, Natasha, arrived at the island of Jerry, the representative of Maple Leaf Country. But aren't you just asking me to become a laborer? Do you know which university I graduated from? Jerry listened to Qin Wen's words. Very excited, Qin Wen actually felt that this is the reaction of a normal person. If you don't come with me, I'll make you IT right now. Jerry vowed to never surrender. They are all representatives from the blue planet. Why should I work for you? Seeing that this person is extremely soft, Qin Wen is about to take a tough approach. A display of skill. Retrieve the golden iron sword from the storage agent. The crystal mirror lacks spiritual perception. Neither side has spiritual power. Naturally, one cannot sense the strength of spiritual energy, so it's impossible to discern each other's realms. However, Jerry's Chinese isn't very good. Natasha also needs translation. Qin Wen already knew. He won't be able to reach a higher level anymore. Just as I was about to make a move, Tom stepped forward to smooth things over. Qin Wen, don't get worked up. I'll go talk to him. Tom and Jerry, after all, they all have white faces. Cultural homogeneity. Tom persuaded Jerry. Jerry, we are currently in a discussion. You must learn to huddle together for warmth, cultivating immortality or not. Right now, it doesn't matter at all. What we need to do most right now, that's right. Going to the mainland, go to where people are. Could it be? Do you want to spend your whole life on a deserted island? Will I grow old alone? A small boat given by the way of heaven. What do you think is the probability of safely drifting to the mainland? How big is it? If you don't understand nautical knowledge, it's almost zero, right? Now Qin Wen has the blueprints. As technology, we just need to put in the effort. We can build a big ship together. At that time, we can conquer the ocean together. Go live in normal life on the mainland. Isn't it good? This is not to make him a slave. This is cooperation. Qin Wen raised an eyebrow. This is Tom. I brainwashed myself. At this moment, people watching the live broadcast on Blue Star. Everyone has been messed up by this Tom. This is what is known as legendary. Sold by someone. Could you help count the money? I think that Tom lives with clarity. Just what good is maintaining that little bit of pride? Cannot log in. Dying in the sea would make me happy. It's better to live happily alone on a deserted island for a lifetime. People from the Shu Kingdom cursing Tom for being useless. People of the Maple Leaf Country. Don't listen to him when the comments are flooding in about Jerry. Unfortunately, Jerry can't see this at the moment. Jerry listened to Tom's words. I find it somewhat reasonable, but I'm still not at ease. He looked at Qin Wen. The big ship has been completed. Will you take us to the mainland? Qin Wen shrugged. As long as you are loyal to me. Such a big ship. I can't operate it by myself. Of course, we will bring some boatmen. Jerry's feelings about the term boatman, clearly a bit concerned. I must emphasize one point. We are in a partnership. It's not about the boss and the workers. You can call me whatever you like. Anyway, just listen to me. Tom persuaded again. Jerry, don't worry about the details. This is the world of immortality cultivation. Qin Wen is both intelligent and strong. Following him is the right choice. There is a saying in Huaxia that goes well. It's nice to relax under the big tree. Jerry snorted. It's easy to be struck by lightning under a big tree. Jerry ultimately agreed to board Qin Wen's pirate ship. At this moment, it is time for the Tao of Heaven to cultivate immortality. It has been over a month since it started. Still full of energy more than a month later. They all have very strong physiques. These people are the most suitable for the job. The group returns to Qin Wen Island. Gandhi took advantage of these few days when Qin Wen was away. Every day slacking off at Mo Yang's work. I see a small boat drifting in the distance, just pretending to be busy running around. Qin Wen took out a design blueprint of a ship drawn on sheepskin, gave it to Tom. This guy has successfully brainwashed himself. Let him be the foreman. Ensure the construction quality of the large ship. That Jerry truly lives up to being a graduate of MIT. Seeing Qin Wen's drawings, I couldn't help but exclaim their professionalism. He can easily understand the blueprints. The contractor guarantees the quality and progress of the project. Jerry became an engineer, constructing from a professional perspective. True hard labor. There is still only Gandhi, of course, to speed things up. Tom and Jerry also need to help with the work. Otherwise, bring them back. Then it becomes meaningless. Qin Wen clapped his hands. Holding on to that Tasha, returned to the cave. Now there is Tom, a contractor passionate about shipbuilding. Qin Wen no longer needs to spend time supervising them at work. Moreover, Tom is very talkative. Gandhi, the shepherd. He can make Gandhi feel irritated. I can only take it seriously. Jerry was always reluctant to do manual labor. Tom painted a big pie for him. What? This is another world. Don't you want to take a look? What are the people in this world like? There are many powerful cultivators here. Don't you want to live forever? Everyone needs to unite as one. Let's work hard together. Complete the big ship soon. End this miserable life of survival on the deserted island. This is a quite successful contractor. Nighttime. In the cave. Nada asked, "Is 3 people enough?" F. More words. Management becomes troublesome. There are 3 people. I estimate that it will be finished within a month. We can finally leave this small island. Great. That Hastja was very happy. The 2 people locked eyes. The atmosphere has reached this level. Let's get straight to the point. 1 hour later, Natasha fell into a deep sleep. May I ask why you can't sleep? Decided to give it another shot. Previously gained the talent of Beast Whisperer in the previous simulation. Did not play any significant role. May I ask what you're thinking? In theory, there should be an opportunity to utilize this talent. It's that reef. Why not use the Beast Whisperer talent? Ask about that reef. It always stirs up storms at sea. What are you doing? Anyway, after acquiring this talent, also gained the ability to commune with beasts. Will not be attacked by the coral reef. Your 17th simulation. Now it begins. The talents you currently possess. Spirit of inquiry. Green. Survival big cow. The no women in my heart. Toxic transformation. Blue. One Piece. Jin. Chanianti. Jin. Blood Pow. Dendit. Jin. Beast Whisperer. Your current state is Crispy Realm. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. It requires 0 energy consumption. 1,000. Consume 0 power value 1,000. 3,000 remaining. Day 1. You have gained 2 capable laborers. They are with Gandhi. Diligently. Invested. In the process of building the large ship. 20th day. In Jerry. Bum. Under the perfect collaboration of Gandhi and the 3 of them. The large ship was completed ahead of schedule. Day 22. The large ship's launch test is complete. Can sail normally. Day 23. You brought Natasha. Jerry. Tom went out to sea. Gandhi was thrown into feeding fish in the sea because he once tried to harm you. You are someone who holds grudges. The 100th day. With the talent of a pirate king, you sail freely across the vast ocean, plundering the islands of representatives from other countries, harvesting numerous storage bags, basic cultivation supplies. Tom relied on his silver tongue. I have recruited 5 members for the center. Strong and sturdy male crew member. During this time, encountered 5 beautiful representatives. I also got on your boat. They and them, all representatives from various countries. Date 150. Your team has grown significantly. Some representatives have also gone out to sea in the nearby waters. They huddled together, but you are no match for us. Beaten to a pulp by you all. Day 151. You finally encountered that reef again. You need to use the Beastmaster's ability. Communicate with him. You let Captain Tom take the helm. Get closer to some reefs. The crew members strongly opposed. Such a massive beast, like a dragon. How can I get close to him? You say you are the captain. Who doesn't listen to you? Just throw someone down to feed the fish. There's no way. Everyone can only accompany you to the reef when your boat is very close. You heard the words of the reef. Foolish mortals. Don't come to disturb me. You respond. Mr. Heijao, do you have any difficulties? Ajao was very surprised. "You ordinary mortal, I can actually understand his language, and he feels a sense of closeness to you. I don't want to attack you. After some conversation, you know now. It turns out this reef is transforming into a dragon. The process of transforming into a dragon. Let him suffer immensely. Unless one has a primordial treasure, help him suppress the residual gelatinous blood within. He can transform into a dragon in one leap. You remember the foolish Tianli tree. Ask him about the innate spiritual treasure. Can a severed limb be?" Hai Jiao said, "Let's give it a try. After all, innate spiritual treasures are exceedingly rare." He searched for thousands of years but couldn't find it. Day 152, you bid farewell to the coral reef. He left you a piece of the coral spirit. As long as you crush this spiritual shard, the reef can sense your location. I will go find you then, because you told him. Do you have a way to obtain the remnants of the primordial spiritual treasure? The reef promises you, as long as you can help him transform into a dragon. He can promise to do 3 things for you. So, you use 3 sentences. Let a dragon of the future. I have done 3 things for you unconditionally. Day 155. You have arrived at the island of Ziminjianzi. Successfully obtained 9 Jiminjin stones. After you take it, your spiritual roots will improve, transforming the physique into the purple rock holy body. Day 160. You have arrived at the island where the earth spirit pearl is located. You are using the same trick again, at the cost of sacrificing 2 disciples. You have obtained the earth spirit pearl and absorb into the body. Day 180. You have diligently arrived on the continent, staying temporarily in a fishing village. Day 185. The bandits routinely collect protection fees. You led people to their doom. You directly stormed the bandits' hideout. Take them all down. Day 186. The villagers of the fishing village are endlessly grateful to you. I send you the remnants of the thunderwood. Day 187. You set out to sea alone, crushing the coral reefs at sea to send you the spirit of the reef. Before long, the reef breaks the surface of the water, seeing the severed limb in your hand. Eyes shining brightly, you lent the broken branch of the thunderwood to the coral reef. Hai Jiao goes alone to the deep sea, attempting to transform into a dragon again. Day 190. You see dark clouds obscuring the sun in the distance. The thunder rumbled fiercely, even though we are far apart. Everyone can sense the terrifying power of the thunder calamity. You guess it must be that the coral reef dragon has succeeded. This means it wants to rise from a lowly beast, break through to a first-grade celestial beast. Such a situation, like humans ascending, will bring about a calamity from the heavens. Day 200. The calamity lasted a full 10 days. Villagers of the seaside fishing village, every day I kneel and pray for mercy from the heavens. Day 201. Auspicious signs fill the sky. A silver divine dragon swallows clouds and exhales mist. The reef succeeded. The silver dragon flies in front of you. I return the remnants of the thunderbolt tree to you, and he must fulfill his promise. I will do 3 things for you. You tell him. The first thing, it is borrowing his golden bloodstone, a single dragon scale. The silver dragon unhesitatingly sheds blood and removes its scales for you. 2 other things. You haven't figured it out yet. I want to save it for later. The silver dragon tells you he can only stay in the human realm for another 10 years. 10 years later, must go to the immortal realm. Your last 2 things. It's best to take care of this within the next 10 years. Otherwise, don't blame him for not keeping his promises. Seeing this, the emotions outside the simulator were quite joyful. I didn't expect that. Gained a fresh, lean silence. After this, when encountering difficult enemies again, directly summon the divine dragon. That's so impressive. Unfortunately, this support. Only 10 years. Then oneself. We must make use of these 10 years. Rapid rise. Once upon a time, this celestial treasure, right by the sea. This reef stirs up storms in the sea every day. Did you not sense anything? He thought for a moment. Approximately, and Thunderwood. Only a severed limb remains. This is not the complete celestial treasure, the spirit energy of the possible celestial realm. It has become too weak to sense. However, this reef is quite formidable with this incomplete celestial treasure. It has also successfully transformed into a dragon. This dragon will achieve great things in the future. Could you please continue watching? Day 202. You said goodbye to your crew and partner. You are about to embark on the path of seeking immortality. Above the immortal disciples. Fortunes are hard to predict. You don't want to burden them. I also don't want them to drag you down. So everyone decided to part ways. Day 225. Based on the location of the Dragon God Palace in my mind, Jingjai arrived at the hidden cave, obtained the Dragon God Palace. You retreat in place. Begin to diligently cultivate at the Dragon God Palace. Cultivating in the Dragon God Palace, every level of skill. At the very beginning, you must take longling powder daily for a year. Only then can one cultivate the first level of power. As long as I can reach the first level, it will be much easier to improve later on. Of course, it wasn't easy either. Still cannot do without the blood of the Dragon clan and the assistance of various genius treasures. Day 230. After mastering the techniques of movement, you consumed the first drop of dragon blood. Suddenly, I felt a searing pain inside me. Your energy suddenly becomes boundless. My body feels like it's about to explode. Thanks to your purple flame sacred body, a physique unlike ordinary people. Only then can the power of the Dragon clan's blood be fully absorbed. You began training at the Dragon God Palace. Day 231. You are in the Molongling powder. Then cultivate at the Dragon God Palace. Day 232. You are in Molongling Fen. Then cultivate the Dragon God Palace. Second year. After a year of hard seclusion, you have finally reached the first level of the Dragon God Palace. At this moment, you are the crispy nine-layered one, has already gained the strength to confront the Chirophyment mirror. You spent a month, consolidated their power. As you prepare to leave this cave, you heard noise outside. A cultivator walked in. He knew in an instant. You stole it. Dragon God Palace. Furious. Do you know this person? He was in a simulation once. Defeated by you. I had no choice but to tell you about the Dragon God Palace. That righteous monk. At this moment he still hasn't succeeded in building the foundation. But there is also the 9th level of Chirophyment. I see you stole from the Dragon God Palace. He wants to kill you to silence you. Unexpectedly, you have the celestial treasure Thunderwood remnants. Sea and holy body, in addition to the newly forged Dragon God Palace. He is not even your match, the other party exclaimed before dying. You actually managed to refine the Dragon God Palace. He was amazed and expressed, in this life he can see someone use the Dragon God Palace. It can be considered a death without regrets. You killed him, a proper burial. Thank him for sending you. Dragon God Palace. Third year. you once again entered the Liang sect. Yi, you must avenge the elder Jiu with a single arrow. Erlai, you must inherit the legacy of the hunter of the sun sword god. Because you are getting older, Lai Yangzong is not very keen on accepting you. You expressed. You have long heard it in the streets. Elder Jiu of the Lai Yang sect, the alchemy skills are superb, claiming to have a great interest in alchemy. I want to learn under the ninth elder, not a disciple of the Liang sect. It's okay too. Elder Jiu is extremely pleased. Indeed, I have sent you the book Du Kui Mai Gong again. You pretend to thank. Simply put, I don't cultivate this technique at all. Fourth year, you have shown incredible talent in alchemy. By submitting various elixirs, you have obtained enough sect contribution points, exchanged for the normal training methods of the Liang sect. But on the surface, you lied to Elder Jiu. You cultivate the techniques he gave you. You secretly concocted a potion to mask your presence. Elder Jiu didn't notice the change in your cultivation aura. Just 1 year in, you can easily refine the assistive elixir. Higher success rate than Elder Jiu. You can also receive a reward. You can't let him call out. I'm willing to sell anything, even my body. I only seek to obtain a boosting pill. Fifth year, you are at the Southern Wilderness Young Alchemist competition. Achieved first place. Recognized as a 7th grade alchemist by the Righteous Alliance. Your status in the sect is rapidly rising. To know, your master, Elder Jiu. He is just a 6th grade alchemist. You have become the youngest in the history of the sect. He is also the elder with the lowest cultivation level. You have received your own exclusive cultivation cave in advance. The spiritual energy here is much more abundant than in other places of the sect. Eating a lot of Kai gathering pills like candy. Your level is also steadily rising. Has reached the 9th level of Kai refinement. The 6th year, you successfully assisted in the strike. Elder Jiu wants you to meet him in the herb garden immediately. You know it's time for revenge. In recent years, you have already mastered the Dragon God technique, reached the 4th level. You have the confidence to leap into battle. Elder Jiu is still the same as before in the simulation. I didn't take you seriously after just 1 assist. He came straight to the point. I intend to take you to refine the Poison King. You have to agree, even if you don't want to. You have to agree, even if you don't want to. But you said to him, Old thing, hand over your storage bag and all your treasures. Otherwise, just twist his neck. Elder Jiu was stunned by your words. At first, I thought you had become foolish from your training, and mere assist is actually. How dare he speak arrogantly to a Golden Dan Mirror Grandmaster? Stop talking nonsense. Take action directly. The sacred flame of purple fire bursts forth. Heavenly Thunderwood's sweep. Elder Jiu also had to retreat. He is surprised that you have a special constitution, also possesses innate spiritual treasures. However, what surprised Elder Jiu is yet to come. When your Dragon God technique is unleashed, the figure transforms into a divine dragon. Flatten this entire mountain into the ground. Elder Jiu fought desperately. Magical treasures and artifacts come and go, swallowing one power-enhancing pill after another. But it was all in vain. Due to the aspect of magical artifacts, you possess innate spiritual treasures. Not weaker than him. On elixirs, he will practice the elixir. You will practice too. You can do it. He may not necessarily. On martial arts techniques, Heavenly Steps technique, Dragon God technique, the low-level cultivation technique practiced by Elder Jiu, crushed into a complete mess. Plus, you have the special physique of the purple flame holy body. When the purple flame sacred fire emerges, even his magical treasures can be ignited. Elder Jew harbors resentment over his defeat. Just when you were about to get results from him, Lie Yongzong Master, the elder arrives. They stopped you and question you. Why bully the exterminated clan? You told them about Elder Jiu's creation of the Poison King. But Elder Jiu turned the tables. You're lying. It's actually because you covet his treasures. To kill and seize treasure. Sect affairs. Elder Jinjiu does not believe you. Immediately accused of treason. I will capture you alive, given your exceptional alchemy skills. Otherwise, it will be dealt with on the spot. Facing the sovereign, great elder, and the seven masters of Yu and Ying. You know the dragon god's skill. It is of no help either. You don't want to be locked up in prison by them. You guess what they will do after capturing you. I'm afraid I'll turn you into a pill-making machine. You must escape. You crushed the silver divine dragon. One of the two dragon scales left for you. In an instant, the sky changed color. The wings of change are upon us. The dragon's roar breaks through the mist at dawn. A giant dragon stretching for 1,000 miles, rising and falling among the clouds. The divine dragon casts a radiant light of auspiciousness. I will protect you. The Lian sect was left dumbfounded. This is the first sacred dragon. I can't believe I'm protecting you. Then why fight? The Lian sect directly surrendered. I call you Dragon Envoy. I dare not offend. You made the leader of the Liang sect kill Elder Jiu. The master said nothing further. Directly cast a heavenly fire talisman. Burn Elder Jiu to ashes. You are very satisfied. But what you want goes beyond this. You want the Liang sect to open the tomb of the Liang sword god. You need to enter it. Take away the legacy. The Lord was surprised by, how do you know about the inheritance of the fierce sun sword god? Tell him to stop talking nonsense. Hurry, I'll take you to the tomb. Do you know? The Lian sect must have a proper passage. Directly to the tomb. You fake dragon power. Let the Liang sect listen to your commands. They take you into a cave, continuously moving downward. Finally arrived at the outer edge of the Lian sword god tomb. Seeing this, Qin Wen outside the simulator, clicking tongue in amazement. This dragon god technique is too powerful, truly worthy of the supreme heavenly ladder technique. Heavenly steps technique. Each one is a divine skill of the world. This is still top quality. I really don't know. Who created such an amazing technique? Tianji's skill can fight across borders. It truly lives up to its reputation. At the same time, Qin felt emotional as well. I was able to help that sea pepper. Otherwise, simulate until this moment. Even if I defeat the ninth elder, can't escape the accountability of the Lian sect. The talent of Beast Whisperer. It must be kept. At least wait until we successfully help Haijiao transform. The effect is too great. Qin Wen continued to observe the simulated situation. This life, feeling like you're incredibly awesome, cultivating immortality, I'm afraid there will be a bigger breakthrough. 7th year, to enter the tomb of the Sunblade God. It's not easy. Do you want Shenlong to forcibly break it open for you? But the sect leader told you. In fact, the greatest legacy of this grand tomb, it is not the sword manual and divine sword in the tomb, but when the 9-layer sword intent seal outside the tomb was broken, the essence of the sword realized, if one can break the 9-fold sword intent, so there are no sword manuals and divine swords. You can also become a sword god, if it can't be broken, obtaining the sword manual and the divine sword. You are just a powerful sword cultivator, right? You think the sect master speaks wisely. let the divine dragon leave, once again comprehending the sword intent. A moment of realization. A year has passed. The Liang sect this year dares not neglect you. Every day I send you cultivation supplies, daily necessities, etc. Eighth year, you have comprehended the first level of sword intent, successfully broke the first barrier. The 10th year, 2 years have passed. The second layer of sword intent is you. Still can't break it, and completely at a loss. Do you know your talent for swordsmanship? I'm afraid it won't be achievable, the height demanded by the fierce sun sword god. If it continues to break like this, even if it can be broken in this lifetime, when the time comes, your own lifespan is about to run out. Just right. At that moment, the divine dragon is about to leave the mortal realm. He reminds you, you have one more chance to ask him for help. Just let the divine dragon do it. I will destroy it for you directly. The sun sword god Damu is sealed. Take the divine sword and the sword manual inside. The divine dragon complies. On this day, Liang sect ascends. Shen Wa Wen Shang. Infinite power pierces through heaven and earth. The great wood left behind by the sword god of the blazing sun, pulled out from underground. Just then, in the sky, suddenly a light flickered. A phantom emerged above the 9 heavens. This is a giant middle-aged man in shadow, like the law of heaven descending to the earth. He had a serious expression, vision and spiritual power. A pair of phoenix eyes gazed at the divine dragon. Question him, why destroy one's own mortal kind? The entire Lian sect knelt down. Directly call out to welcome the ancestor. This shadow reflecting the heavens and the earth. It turns out to be the ascended fire sun sword god. The solar sword god's reaction to the dragon god destroying his mortal kind. Incredible fury. Although Shenlong knows that his realm is not as high as the Liang sword god, but it is not at all false. Absolutely refuses to admit fault. You think this dragon is just a blockhead. At this moment, it's time to adapt to the situation. Apologize to the great master for me. Put the grave back. Isn't that it? Result, the divine dragon is still raging there. The other party is already in danger. One should not interfere in mundane matters. The sword god of the blazing sun casts countless sword shadows across the sky. The divine dragon was defeated in an instant. You were eliminated too. Even the entire Liang sect is gone. The sword god of the blazing sun is incredibly proud. Ignore everything. This simulation has ended. You can choose one of the following talents. 1. Ascetic monk. You are a very resilient person. No matter how tedious the training is, everyone can keep going. The more tedious the training, the faster you cultivate, and won't encounter too many constraints. 2. Stomach. Brain. You have a way of keeping multiple options open at once, and these ships have the magical ability to coexist harmoniously. 3. Dragon Envy. The dragon clan of the world sees you. You will be treated as a guest of honor. You can do it to a certain extent, commanding certain low-ranking dragon clans. Fighting for you must earn a reward. 3 years to understand. See you at the end. May I ask about the furrowed brow? This death truly caught me off guard. I thought this life would be extraordinary. Can cultivate to a golden core yin yang level or something. I never expected to be killed by an ascended immortal. It truly is a case of success and failure being tied to the divine dragon. Defeated by the divine dragon, forget it. Don't blame others anymore. It's strange, but one must be patient. I want the divine sword and divine skills left by the fierce sun sword god. This is what triggered the main character's dissatisfaction, separated by two worlds. They flattened the entire Liang sect to the ground. This fierce sun sword god is a ruthless person, even killing his own junior. But when I think about it carefully, he is just the founding master of a sect. They are not the ancestors of these people. There's really no emotion at all, is there? Cultivating immortality is inherently heartless. He probably vented his anger on. The Lian sect did not protect his mortal seed well, so we directly wiped out the entire Liang sect. This life simulation, although the realm is still only at the foundation establishment stage. But I didn't expect to actually see the immortal make a move, even though it's just a bunch of written descriptions. But in a casual mention, one can also see between the immortal and the mortal, the gap like an antenna. Still need to strive for immortality. May you ascend soon. I thought immortals wouldn't affect the mortal realm. I never expected someone like the fiery sun sword god to exist. It's still possible to cross boundaries and take action. It's not hard to guess. The fiery sun sword god accomplished this. It definitely comes at a considerable price. But he still did it. He is truly a very proud person. Not right. Is a fairy. Let's see what talents are available this time. Both sons are the same. This green talent was directly abandoned. Killing a man is such a thing. Do you still need talent? Had two purple talents. I was a bit conflicted. The talent of the ascetic, understanding the essence of the sword, secluded training, breaking free from shackles like this. There will definitely be significant drawbacks. Will shorten the time needed for cultivation. Shortened. As for how much it can be shortened, since it's a purple talent, believing shouldn't let people down. The Dragon Whisperer talent is somewhat similar to the Beast Speaker, but it is more targeted than Beast Speech. And the effect should be even better. Can be, to a certain extent, commanding the low-ranking dragon clan to fight for himself. It's like having a whole group of helpers. But there is a problem. Such powerful creatures as dragons. It's not something you can just come across casually. Is a Jai-Along considered a dragon? It should be calculated. The Jai-Along, this half-dragon. It's what they call the low-tier dragon species. After much thought, did you still choose the ascetic? A group of imposing helpers. Indeed, it's not bad. But there are also many limitations. Firstly, there are indeed few dragons. The reef isn't visible every time during the simulation. Secondly, if one has the gift of beast speech, I can also communicate with the dragon clan, as long as we support each other. It's not difficult to ask the dragon clan for help. After all, beasts are not like humans. So many tricks. Beasts always speak with authority. From the simulation just now, we can see that. The dragon formed from the coral reef. I would rather collide with the golden immortal. I also need to fulfill the third thing I promised myself. Speaking of which, it's quite touching. It's just too stubborn, unable to adapt. After the talent selection is complete, Qin Wen suddenly had a multitude of realizations in his mind. It's a lot about using swords. Swordsmanship. Sword intent. The swordsman waits for the abstract content. These are all his experiences in the Sims. Under the grand stage of the fierce sun sword god, I comprehended the sword intent for 3 years. These sword intentions are very abstract. It's not a specific sword technique. Sword technique, it's a realization that cannot be expressed in words. They directly exist in Qin Wen's mind. Qin needed some time to process everything. It merely broke the sword intent left by the sun sword god. I have already gained so much insight into the way of the sword. Qin Wen knows. I just need to fully digest my understanding of swordsmanship from these past 3 years. Then one can be called a master among sword cultivators. At that moment, put aside the simulated matters. Qin Wen began to digest the insights he gained from the swordsmanship, and also this simulation. There's also quite a bit of information. Qin asked to organize things properly. In the blink of an eye, 10 days have passed. Dom, Jerry, Gandhi and the three worked tirelessly and selflessly. Tom even enjoyed it. The construction of the large ship proceeding in an orderly manner, even faster than Qin had expected. Qin spent 10 days. I have internalized all the insights gained from the last swordsmanship simulation, although this has no obvious benefit to cultivation. But when it comes to real combat, a person who understands the essence of the sword uses it. Fighting with someone who doesn't understand. That is definitely two different things. The cleansing herbs on the island have matured again. Qin asked to pick them all. This time, it wasn't used to merge with spiritual power, but with an alchemy furnace, they were all refined into a cleansing essence pill. Washing marrow grass is just the main ingredient of washing marrow pill. We still need a few more auxiliary spirit herbs, not found on the island. However, this southern island has the gifted Qin Wen of Dan Dai. After several studies, he find a few common herbs to replace. It can also exert the original effects of the formula, the role of those spiritual herbs. Qi Taijing takes the bone-cleansing pill, can cleanse the sutras and wash the marrow. It can accelerate the refinement of the pure body's cultivation. It can also strengthen the foundation of one's physical constitution. Qin asked about the cleansing herb in his hand, not just on my own island. Also, when I went to pick up Tom before, during the festival, brought from their island. Qin asked about alchemy techniques. You've trained quite well already, refining this basic elixir. The success rate is extremely high. So this wave, I directly refined 100 cleansing pills. Just eat one when there's nothing else to do. Just eat one when there's nothing else. Is pure and pristine state. Therefore it keeps rising. Not long after, you have reached the 7th level of the pure body. Gandhi saw at the seaside. Qin Wen practiced with stones. One punch, he threw the stone several kilometers away and shattered into hundreds of pieces. In that moment, despair filled my heart. Qin's understanding has elevated again. It's impossible to turn things around now. The three of them take a boat every day. There's simply no energy to cultivate. Cultivation has been stagnant. Tom didn't mind. He is only concerned about when the big ship will be ready. He has already begun to fantasize with the beauties of this continent. Raise a glass and celebrate. I felt it. The power and physical changes of the 7 layers of the essence body. Qin asked while carrying his hands behind his back, like a big boss on a construction site. With a capitalist's smile, arrived at the shipbuilding site. Not bet. Everyone, let's put in more effort. We can set sail soon, going to conquer the stars and the sea. Qin was drawing a huge pancake that no one could see. Gandhi remained expressionless. He has been working every day. Everyone blamed the person who did it. Jerry is very interested in shipbuilding technology. Studying blueprints is a great joy. The most passionate one is Tom. Immediately raised his arm and shouted, Qin Wen Wei Wu. Qin raised his hand. He indicated that he shouldn't get too excited. Natasha watched from the side, silent like laughter, bored and with nothing to do. Qin asked while eating the washed noodles, while drinking the coconut that Natasha made. The portable Xuanbing spirit spring sitting in the shade and under the coconut trees. So uncomfortable. Let's have another simulation. Anyway, Natasha can't see the simulator's screen. It doesn't matter whether he's by my side or not. Soon, simulation complete. This simulation did not receive useful talents. The highest quality is green. In the sins. Didn't live too long either. Received information. It's similar to before. This time, Qin Wen did not force the divine dragon to break through the grand curtain for him, but instead be honest with oneself, go and comprehend the trials left by the sword god of the blazing sun. But the gears of fate, still rolling forward. 12th year, the battle against the demons has begun again. Qin Wen as a 7th grade alchemist. It's impossible to remain uninvolved. The righteous path requires. He helped refine the elixir and defend the battle. The demon path has made him the #1 target. Prioritize elimination. Result, it's just back and forth. Died in the chaos of battle. The first simulation of the battle at Nanhua town. Qin asked if the demonic path had lost. I didn't expect that. The demon path is actually a deceptive book. They set up a trap everywhere. The counterattack was victorious. The self-satisfied Zhengdao alliance. The righteous path suffers a heavy blow. Heavy casualties. Finished. The righteous path has begun to counterattack. The two sides exchanged blows, making a mess in the southern wilderness. The rest seeker of the demon suppressors. Loss of more than half, until Qin Wen found himself in a large-scale melee. When killed, the two sides are still fighting non-stop. These fools. If it continues like this, aren't we supposed to wipe both sides out? Qin Wen continued to simulate. This situation hasn't changed much from before. It's just that Qin Wen knew in advance. Both sides will fight fiercely, so they ran away early. But I didn't expect that. The fierce battles between the forces of exorcism and the demons. It has been avoided. But when the original 7 elders of the demon suppression joined the battle, Qin Wen wants to hide, but it's impossible now. After all, he just assisted the strike. Damn it, another one has died. Qin questioned the disbelief in evil, simulated it 2 more times. The result is still the same. Clearly, the demon suppression war 12 years later. It is a significant event worthy of being recorded in the history of the southern wilderness. This battle, Qin simulated it several times. No one saw the final outcome. But even before reaching the final outcome, Qin Wen has already seen many sects decline. The aftermath of the fallen restores is a tragic sight. Not possible. Got to run. Stay away from this cursed place in the South Wilderness. The previously simulated marine map. The location of the marked Jiangshuan continent. Only the southern wilderness. This sea area is also the South Sea Islands. If you want to log in, can only log into Nanhuang. Say it again. In the fishing village, there is also the innate spiritual treasure, the thunderwood, to be obtained. In the cave, there is the dragon god palace, the legacy of the Sun Hunter sword god in the Sun Hunter sect, and so on. These known opportunities, Qin didn't want to miss out. So he must go to the southern wilderness. But before the battle between good and evil affects them, leave the southern wilderness as soon as possible, with the help of the divine dragon. It is indeed easy to leave the southern wilderness, but that way you will miss the legacy of the sword god, because the divine dragon only stays in the human world for 10 years. Qin Wen wanted to take advantage of the chaos between the righteous and the demonic factions, to obtain the sword god's legacy by deceitful means. Time is still not enough, so I still have to find a way to leave the southern wasteland by myself. Continue simulating. insufficient spiritual power. Please accommodate. Items with spiritual power. Unknowingly, I've run out of spiritual power. There are spiritual things on my island. I have basically found them all. In the eye of the mysterious ice spring, there are quite a few spiritual springs, but Qin Wen tried to accommodate wrong. It can also contain spiritual energy values, but it's too little. About 1 liter of spiritual spring water. Only a little spiritual power. Qin suggested it would be better to keep the spiritual spring for drinking. Still looking for Tom. Let Jerry and them borrow a bit. The storage bags of these two people. Qin didn't move at all, to avoid them harboring resentment, not building ships properly, but now borrowing their spirit stones for a while. It should be fine, right? Qin was once again painting a grand vision for the two of them. They declare that they will conquer the sea in the future. Obtained a lot of spirit stones. We'll return 10 times what we owe them then. Tom is more than willing. Jerry was unwilling. Seeing the appearance of these two people, I thought of an old animation. Mei Tao Xiao and Bu Gaoxin. Qin couldn't help but laugh out loud. Tom and Jerry looked at each other. Just 10 spirit stones per person. Why is he so happy? Who knows? This person is moody, unable to understand. I got 20 spirit stones. Another 2,000 spirit points are available to use. Qin needs to think this through carefully this time, to avoid wasting 2 chances for simulation. Join the sheep hunting sect. Revenge on Elder Jiu is minor. The inheritance of the sheep hunter sword god is great. But must you really join the sheep hunting sect? Anyway, the battle between the righteous and the evil is coming. The sheep hunter sect has also been left with very few members. At that time, I directly enter the grand stage of the sheep hunter sword god. Who can stop me? Change to a different sect. Maybe it can lead things in a different direction. Additionally, you must leave Nanhuan. Leaving a place. It seems simple, but the Tiangshuan continent is too vast. The area of a southern wasteland. It's comparable to the entire surface area of the blue planet. And between other regions. The mountains and rivers are harsh and obstructive. Even places like forbidden grounds. A place that shouldn't be easily ventured into. I want to find a safe way to leave. It's not easy. I have envisioned it in my mind, following the action logic. Could you please start the simulation again? Let's consider this perspective, facing the demon war of the southern wilderness 12 years later. Can you find a way out for yourself? Begin simulation. Your 21st simulation. Now starting. Currently, the talent you possess, 1011. Spirit of inquiry, green. Survival big cow, blue. No women in my heart. Unique transformation physique, blue. One piece, Jin. Tianin tea, Jin. Blood cow, dandit, Jin. Beast whisper, Cuxing sang. Your current state is crispy realm. Simulate once. It requires consuming spiritual energy. 1,000. Consume 1,000 spirit power. Remaining 1,000. Day 1. You have broken through to the brittle layer 7. Very happy. Day 10. You pick up the water chestnut and eat it as a snack. Jindi Thiren has reached the 9th layer of the brittle body. On this day, the large ship is completed. You began preparing the supplies for the voyage. 12th day, you brought Natasha, Dom, Jerry, leaving the island where I was born. Along the way, you will abandon Gandhi in the water, because you hold grudges. 50th day, you are selective, plundered 10 representatives of the Blue Star. With Tom's help, Persuaded 5 strong representatives. Be your transmission laborer. Additionally, there are 5 beautiful representatives, persuaded by you in person, walking with you. Day 60. You obtained 9 purple bright stones and ate them. The spiritual root has been upgraded to 6 bottles of fire spiritual root, transforming the physique into the purple rock sacred body. The 70th day, you have obtained the earth spirit pearl, sacrificing 2 coolies. Day 80, you are searching for reefs at sea. Day 85, relying on the talent of the pirate king, you sensed that the reef is nearby. You finally found it. Day 86, you reach an agreement with the reef. You help it transform into a dragon. It does 3 things for you. The 100th day, you have arrived on the mainland. All the way, you just need to pass by a small island. Just went to the island to pick zisui grass. Refined a large amount of zisui dan. You treat me like a snack, consuming me every day. Your body has been refined through countless cleansing elixirs. Shampoo, it has become completely natural, pure and untainted. Reached the peak purity of the crispy body near the flesh. After logging in, you bring your crew directly. Attack the bandit hideout. The bandits who haven't come down the mountain to collect protection money yet. Take them all out at once. Day 101, you brought the bandit leader's head. Arriving at the fishing village, tell them, the bandits have all been killed by you. From now on, no one will disturb them. The village chief is very grateful to you. I send you the remnants of the primordial spirit lightning wood. Day 102. You lent the remnants of the thunderwood to the coral reef. Day 105. Dark clouds appear in the distance. The villagers of the fishing village kneel and bow their heads. May the heavens forgive their sins. Day 115. The sky is filled with auspicious signs. The reef dragon has successfully transformed. Return your thunderwood severed limb. The first thing you asked him to do, he needed to borrow 10 drops of blood and a dragon scale. The next 2 things, you keep it for him to do in 10 years. Seeing this, as the progress increased significantly during the previous simulation to the coral reef transformation here, it's almost been a year. It should be learned that the demon suppression war will occur in 12 years. Unable to escape disaster. So I am eager to improve my strength, speeding up the progress on unimportant matters. I used to frequently venture back and forth across the sea. A year can feel long, short as 100 days or 200 days. This simulation. I've only been a pirate for a little over a month, although many basic cultivation resources will be lost. But thinking about my strong alchemy skills, these things will all be available in the future. Day 116. You bid farewell to Natasha and the others, setting off alone on the path to seek immortality. Day 130. You remember based on the locations in your mind. Found the Dragon God Palace. You stay in seclusion. Begin to comprehend and cultivate in the Dragon God Palace. Day 230. The ascetics talent played a role. It originally would take a year to break through. Dragon God Palace, first floor. You've achieved it in just 100 days. Day 250. According to the mental map of Nan Huang Town's layout, you found the mystical gate. This time, I will not join the Liang sect, because you want to take a different path. In search of a glimmer of hope, you still encountered the same problem. You are too old. The Qin Wen sect doesn't really want to take you in. You demonstrated your alchemy skills to them. The upper management of the door is overjoyed. Bring you into the spirit elixir hall. Become the disciple of the master. Qin Wen gate is skilled in the art of formations. There is a 6th grade formation master at the door, 3 5th rank array masters, several lower-level formation masters, learning array device refining, the essential course for disciples of the Qin Gate on breaking formations. Day 260. Obtaining the cultivation techniques of the Qin sect. Kaimen Juhu. You will soon break through to the first level of forging. Day 300. You are in Lingdan Hall. I have learned many formulas. You will improve them one by one. The master holds you in high regard. Your reputation rises at the door. Year 2. You are refining alchemy at the Qin Gate, learning formation techniques, cultivation, at the same time taking the opportunity to descend the mountain frequently, opportunity to collect alchemical materials, start asking around in the way, how to leave the southern wilderness. Various wandering cultivators, 9 major orthodox figures, the common merchants all expressed. Leaving the southern wilderness is very difficult. You found out. There are 5 major regions on the mainland. Various forbidden places, Judai, secret ban, separate the 5 domains. Forced crossing, a life and death struggle. It is said that the 5 realms are interconnected. We need to take the designated passage. But these passages, currently lost in the southern wilderness. No one knows where. You don't believe in the supernatural. I feel like someone always knows. Year 3. Alchemy. Learning the art of formations. Cultivation. Inquire about the safe passage out of Nanhuang. Year 4. You successfully forged the chicken, becoming the deputy master of Lingdan Hall. Your alchemical talent, already showing brilliance, recognized as a 7th-tier alchemist by the Righteous Path Alliance. You have become an indispensable person in the door. I status. The sect leader holds you in great respect. Disciple of the refining art, it's all your crazy admirers. You feel happy. Just reward them with a forged chicken dan. Let them see you. Even more so, it was licked to the utmost. This year, the 7 Forbidden Realms trial qualification tournament has begun. 9 great orthodox sects of the southern wilderness, Jujai Jing and the disciples below. Everyone can participate in the competition. Obtain the trial quota. There exists an indelible cultivation within the forbidden ground. Suppression restrictions. Suppress the intruder's cultivation. The higher the realm, the more intense the suppression. The realm of perfect seasoning is one that is free from oppression. There is another type of killing formation within the forbidden zone. Every 100 years, a period of time will disappear. For the southern wilderness sect, this trial only takes place once every 100 years, always a year in advance. Select the quota, given your status within the sect. You didn't participate in the competition. Directly obtained an additional quota. You know this is a great opportunity because it's in the forbidden area. Ancient herbal medicine from the forest. An ancient castle left behind by ancient cultivators. The forbidden land of the 7 absolutes is an ancient battlefield. Seeing this point, Qin Wen furrowed her brows. 7 Forbidden Lands trial. In the previous simulation, this copy has never appeared before. Thinking it over, it seems there has never been an achievement of casting a chicken in 4 years before. This trial is said to forge a ban on chickens. Even those who are forbidden from refining weapons can participate in the selection process. But how can the forging ban compete with the casting ban? The last to go. Isn't it all just a chicken ban? As the talent gained from emotions increases, becoming stronger and stronger, he has more and more information about future opportunities. His cultivation speed. It will inevitably become faster and faster. At the very beginning, He may not live to see the rooster being cast. Slowly, 10 years of forging a chicken. Gradually, 6 years, 5 years. Now it's been 4 years. Simulating the benefits it brings to him, at a speed visible to the naked eye, affecting his future achievements. Continue to watch further. Let's see how you perform in this 7 absolute trials. Can we fish out some good stuff? 5th year, you joined the trial army, entered the forbidden land of the 7 wonders. The deathly aura spreads within the forbidden land. Isolate the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. All of you can only rely on the limited spiritual energy within. With the spirit stone in hand, the consumption of spiritual energy. Fortunately, before entering the forbidden area, the sect elder has told you this. You will take the spirit stones that were originally plundered at sea, the spirit stones obtained from alchemy in recent years, and the sect has sent you spirit stones for this trial. They all brought it in. Aren't you worried about not having enough spiritual power? Everyone's purpose for coming in is quite similar, searching for rare high-grade spiritual herbs from the outside world, and a dilapidated old castle, or the inheritance of ancient cultivation styles. But the 7 absolutes forbidden land, after all, every 100 years a group of people comes to plunder, in addition to the continuous growth of the spiritual herbs. Other valuable things are scarce now. A castle has been discovered. Often, dozens of disciples compete to form a group. In the end, the casualties were severe. But found, it's just a ruined ancient castle. You are not foolish, competing with others for those ancient scraps, but focused on collecting rare spiritual herbs. For someone who understands the art of alchemy, these are the true treasures beyond price. Can help you refine advanced elixirs. But there are still those who are blind to the situation. I want to kill you directly and seize the pestle without delay. You use the purple flame sacred fire. The Helong divine skill teaches them how to be human. 10 days have passed. All the disciples of various sects know you can't provoke. Your combat power rivals that of the golden core mirror. No one is your match. You see disciples from other sects that you occasionally encounter, being submissive to you. Suddenly felt, why don't you strike hard? So, you became the one who kills for treasure. 20 days later, the trial of the realm has ended. Disciples from other sects lament in grievance, because all the good things have been taken by you. You have obtained several thousand-year spirit herbs. Wan Nianling Kao Sanju, the ancient elixir stone bottle that can still be consumed. 3 volumes of earth stage techniques. 2 ancient treasures. In addition, what you gained the most is a broken grand teleportation array. You once read an ancient text from the Qin Gate, a brief introduction to the Great Migration Array. This is a set of formations that have been lost to time. The purpose is to move people between virtual realms. Delivered to a place 10,000 miles away. Seeing this point, Qin Wen outside the simulator. Disciples of the Qin sect. The Qin sect is a sect based on formations. Repairing the Great Array. I suppose there won't be any problems, right? The 6th year, you use the precious spiritual herbs obtained from the environment. Refined a bottle of high-grade elixir, including 10 Bu Dan. After taking these 10 elixirs, your fire spirit root has been enhanced again. Reached 8 bottles. You feel like you want to reach 9 bottles. It seems relying on pills isn't working anymore. We still need a genius like Ximing Yanzi. 3 levels of earthly cultivation techniques. You have already begun your training. A slight achievement. You researched the Great Migration Array yourself. I found that you don't have such strong talent for formations. Repair this formation. You don't even know how to set up this formation. After all, your alchemy skills are impressive. But in terms of formations, it's just a second-rank formation master. The seventh year, a year of contemplation, yielded no results. You decide to hand over the Great Migration Array to the sect. Look at the high-ranking formation masters in the sect. Can we figure out the reason behind this? Obtaining the incomplete teleportation array. The 7 old monsters of the Qin Gate have been in seclusion for 200 years. They all cleared customs early. They seemed like a pack of wolves. I saw the most seductive woman in the world. Moreover, that woman stripped completely bare. They gather around the incomplete formation every day. Research endlessly. The 8th year, the matter of formations. Just leave it to the old monsters of the Qin Wen to study. You should focus on improving your strength, because it has been only a few years since the battle of the demon army began. The ascetic and the talent of having no women in his heart combined. Your cultivation speed far surpasses that of your peers. With the addition of the spiritual root, you have been elevated to the 8th rank. Your cultivation speed is like riding a rocket. You have reached the 6th layer of foundation building. 9th year, you have reached the 8th layer of foundation building. This year, the Qin sect has returned the great teleportation formation to you. Their conclusion is that they can't fix it. This is the mysterious 9-tiered formation of ancient times. Only an 8th rank array master can repair this. Now the entire southern wilderness, the most powerful formation master, is only at the 6th rank. That would be the ancient monster Yuan Ying Kai from the Qin sect. It's better to rely on oneself than to seek help from others. From then on, you immersed yourself in the vast array of formation knowledge at the Qin Gate. The 10th year, you are obsessed with research on formations. Not much cultivation. The boundary is still at the 8th level of foundation building. In this very year, it seems that the news of the Great Migration Array has leaked out. A group of mysterious people stormed the Qin Gate demanding. There is actually a strong expert named Yuan Yingjing. The mysterious gate opens, and the protective mountain array struggles to hold on. But the situation is critical, because at this moment everyone uses fierce facial techniques to cover their faces. Among the mysterious figures dressed in uniform black clothing, there is more than one Yuan Ying mirror. The Qin Gate is about to collapse, and the mysterious person's target is the great teleportation array in your hands. You have to take action now. You crush the messenger dragon scales.